Hi everyone, my name is Liz and I'm a happiness engineer here at Flocknote. Today we're going to be talking about sending text messages and emails in Flocknote. So I've logged in as a super admin for Holy Cross Church, and I want to draw your attention to these buttons in the top left-hand corner. These are going to be some of your go-to items when working in Flocknote, and we have two buttons here for sending notes, one for emails and one for text messages. So to send a note, you're first going to want to select your group from the groups list on the left-hand side of the screen and then click on either the envelope icon to send an email or the cell phone icon to send a text. No matter which option you choose, the note is still set to automatically go to all members of a particular group. So if you're writing an email and you maybe have 4 or 5 people who only have a phone number on file, they'll get a text message with a link to read the email online and vice versa. If you send a text message and you only have a couple of people in there who don't have a cell phone on file, they just have an email address, we will actually send them an email with a text from the text message. So again, no matter which method you choose, everyone who is in the group is going to get the message. Therefore, we just like to choose the avenue that is the most appropriate for the message you're sending. If you're sending a long, detailed note, it would work best as an email, whereas a short reminder would work best as a text message. So I'm going to go ahead and select my everyone group and send a text message so you can see what that looks like. So here's our text message composer. It's really simple and you'll see that it's already populated with our group's short name so that when the message goes out, it's clear who it is from. Or if you prefer, you can delete that. I'm just going to let everyone know that training is still on for Wednesday. In the toolbar at the bottom of this page, you will see 3 options. If I click on the comments button, I can choose to turn public comments on or off. So it's good to know if someone replies directly to your text message or directly to your email, it's going to collect that reply and save it as a private comment so it is visible only by the author of the note and by other admins. So it's a really cool way to gather feedback. And if you do keep public comments turned on, you can include a link in your text message so that people can click over and leave a comment online. Next, I can click to schedule the note for a future date and time, and the delivery button explains how people will receive the message. For this group, it contains 2 extra checkboxes. The first appears when you're sending a text and you have members not opted in to receive text messages. So if you check that, it will send the text as an email to anyone who does not have texting enabled, and that just ensures that everyone receives the note. In most cases, that is the preferred method so that everyone receives the message you're sending and you only have to send it once. However, if you do not wish to do that, you can keep that box unchecked. The second box appears when phone calls have been enabled for your church or organization and you have someone eligible to receive a phone call. That means they are not opted into texts or emails, and they're typically our members that only have a landline. If you do wish to send a phone call, you can simply check that box and there is an additional charge of 9 cents per call. Once you have your text ready to go, you can save it as a draft or preview it. So I'm going to click preview and it takes us to the next page. On this page, I see a preview of my note, and then I also still have the option to make any adjustments within the toolbar at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and send this note, and off it goes. And you'll see here that I can adjust my notification preferences for this specific note. All right, so now that we've seen how to write a text message, let's see how to write an email. So I'm going to go ahead and select my group, and then select that blue envelope icon. And up pops our note composer. So the first thing I want to point out is that there are a few layout options here at the bottom, and you can choose any of these for your note. So if you want to do a newsletter, that's this newsy option here, and that just gives you a spot for a header image at the top of your email. Plain Jane is just a simple blank email template, and then all of these others are just some great options depending on the content of your email, and they're just a quick way to build your email so that it's just efficient and easy and beautiful. So I encourage you to take a look at all of these for a really fun way to build your note. First at the top is where you input the subject for your email. And then below that, you'll see that there's a text box. So there will be a text box that automatically populates when you open the email composer. And then the toolbar below here is where you add items to your note. So you can add a text box, an image, a file, a button, an RSVP, a video, a poll, or a quote. And you can add as many of each of these items as you would like. Another cool thing about these items is that they're all drag and drop. So let's say I just have a couple items here. If you click on this arrow icon, you can drag the item and drop it to wherever you want it to go. And then that little trash can icon just takes the item away. The 3 buttons on the right-hand side of the toolbar allow you to change the background color, the layout, and the width of this section. So we're super excited that now you can literally choose any color for your notes. So if you click on this paintbrush icon, you'll see that we have our traditional Flocknote colors and then some variations for each color. But if you click on this color wheel icon, you can type in the hex code for any color. So if you have a brand color for your church that you want to use or a favorite color, you can just type in the hex code here, or you can move the little circle icon around this color wheel to choose a shade that you like. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by all of these color options, you can come down to the toolbar here and click on the Colors button. And you can choose a color theme for the notes, so it's super handy. And this will just automatically change the colors for you, and when you add an item, for example a button, you'll see that the color for the theme is there. So as you can see, there are tons of ways to customize your note. Also, you can click to add different sections so that you have different layouts and colors for different sections. And then when you add a new section, you can click into those various sections to bring up the toolbar for that specific section. Just like with the text note, we have the option to turn public comments off, to schedule the note, and to see how it's being delivered. And in addition, you also have the option to send yourself a test email, which will send this note just to you so you can see how it looks in your inbox before sending it out. And then we can save it as a draft or move forward with previewing it. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in this text box and preview it so you can see what it looks like on the next page. So you'll see your note previewed on a regular computer and then also on a mobile device. So I'm not going to send this one, I'm just going to close it. And I'm going to show you a note that I sent earlier. So this note is completed. It has a nice image at the top. There's a main text box with a button followed by an event and another image and button, and then a couple poll questions. And then over here on the right-hand side, we have this really useful feature called the analytics. And this is the percentage of people who've opened the note. And if I click on this bar, it's going to give me a brief rundown of how the note performed, including how many people opened it, who did not open it, and if any of the messages were not delivered, that means they bounced. If applicable, it also will tell me who received the note via text, if anyone unsubscribed from the group via this note, and how many link clicks the note had. So it's really handy and helps you keep an eye on how your communications are doing for a specific note and group. So it takes what you look at in Analytics and then breaks it down per note. To the right of the analytics bar, we have this purple bell icon, and this represents your notification settings for this specific note. So you can choose to change your settings for the note to email you all replies, still only email you your own replies to your own comments, or to not email you any replies. And then the comments are over here on the right-hand side of the note. If it's a private comment, it shows up with a little padlock. And if it's a public comment, it will be visible to anyone else who comes to view the note. Replies to a specific comment are indented to show that it was a reply to that one comment. 3 last features I want to point out are our edit a note feature, our forward feature, and our duplicate a note feature. So after you send a note, you can edit it by clicking on this pencil icon right here. You can forward it on to a new group or individual, or you can make a copy of it by clicking on the duplicate icon here. All right, that covers it for sending notes in Flocknote. I encourage you to check out all of our training videos and you will become a Flocknote expert in no time. And of course, you're always more than welcome to email your happiness engineers with questions at help@flocknote.com. And in addition, we have some great resources over at our help pages at help.flocknote.com.